Good morning. My name is Marissa Stepmuller. The content area for this is going to be psychology. The lesson topic is Introduction to Psychology. There are three main objectives. The first being students will be able to define psychology and its different branches. The second will be students will identify and explain the 6 major psychological approaches. And the third is students will analyze the application of these approaches to everyday behavior. And then the anticipatory set. So the first thing that I would do is open up this lesson by saying, why do humans behave the way that they do? It's a question that should be asked at the beginning to stimulate thought. I would make this use of a brief video clip that illustrates a variety of behaviors in a variety of settings, which I would most likely pull from a YouTube. Then I would instruct the pupils to discuss their initial thoughts and identify how they relate to the information they already possess when it comes to regarding human behavior. Then we're going to talk about instructional strategies. Since this would be a traditional course, I would do like a lecture presentation by introducing the concept of psychology and its importance through like talking and going over it. And then I would have discussion by facilitating a class discussion on the 6 major psychological approaches to kind of hear other people's perspectives and see what they have to say about that, or if they have any questions while we're going through it. Then I would have a learning engagement activity. The first would be like a think, pair, share. Students will partner up to discuss and summarize each psychological approach that we've already talked about, and then they would share it with the class. So it's kind of like going over it again so people can really ingrain that into their brains. Then we'd maybe do like a case study analysis. I would provide a short case study for students to analyze which psychological approach would most effectively explain the behavior described. Once again, just getting all those psychological behaviors ingrained into their brain for the rest of the course. Then we would have the assessment, formative or summative. So we'd have like an exit ticket. At the end of the lesson, students will submit a brief response to the question, which psychological approach do you find most interesting and why? We could also do quick quizzes, administer upgraded quizzes during the lesson to check for understanding of the psychological approaches. So this kind of just gets them to understand everything that they've learned and gives them that instant satisfaction when they get it right on the quiz. Then you have your differentiation strategies, use of visual aids and multimedia presentations to cater to visual learners. You also have group activities and discussions to engage auditory learners and provide written materials and summaries for those who need additional reading. The closure, I would conclude the lesson by revisiting the lesson objectives and summarizing the key points that they would need to keep in their minds for the rest of the class or the course. Engage students to reflect on how the different psychological approaches can help them better understand themselves and others. And this concludes my brief. Thank you very much.